Hey y'all, welcome to Easy Weeknight Meals with Taylor Mock. I have something fun for you. Here is a compilation of my top 3 appetizers. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching this show. It's been an amazing 2025. Check it out. Shishito peppers are super quick and easy, and they're awesome to find in the grocery store because they're literally in every grocery store. Oh, don't do that. A little bit of olive oil down your shishito peppers. Basically what we're doing is we're going to be blistering your shishito peppers. Once that oil really breaks down, it's going to start to blister your peppers, and that's where your flavor is going to come from. They're really good and saturated in oil there. I'm gonna add just a little bit of our Blackstone Island stir fry. This stuff is so good. It's got a little hint of sugar in it, so you don't wanna put too much. I'll show you why later when we make our sauce to toss all these goodies in. I think that's about good there. We're going to take about a half of a lime here. What a lime is gonna do, the juice is basically gonna break it down. It's gonna allow for that to blister down good. Now, if you've never had a shishito pepper, the first time I tried it, I was a little worried that it was gonna be too spicy. Did you know 1 in 10 shishito peppers are spicy? That means who's gonna get the spicy one? Because they're not all spicy, it's usually just 1 or 2. So we're gonna let those cook down for about, I would say 5 minutes, and we're gonna start talking about the sauce, the good stuff. So in a bowl here, we're gonna add 3 sauces. Super simple. We're gonna add some hoisin, that's where you're getting your sweetness from. Then we're gonna add some sesame oil. And last but not least, we're gonna add some soy sauce. Then we're gonna cut 1 lime. We're gonna use the juice of half a lime here, mix it up, and we're gonna set that aside for when we're gonna add it to our shishitos after they blister down. Shishito peppers are smelling so good, so I think it's about time to add our glaze. Now you'll know when they're done when you've got that really good char on them, that blistering within the pepper. You don't want them to get too soggy, so just watch out for that. Those look good. We're gonna add our delicious sauce we just made together. That's on the side. And when we add this, kind of put it a little, like in a little ball center piece here, because we don't want the sauce to go everywhere. Now once we add this sauce, it's really just gonna be a quick toss. We're heating it up. We're heating up the elements in the sugar. You don't want it to break down too much. Those look good. We're gonna go ahead and put them in the bowl. All right, let's see. This can get a little tricky, a little messy. Let's see if we can get it in the bowl. There we go. So with that hoisin sauce has sugar in it. So naturally it's going to break down and solidify on your griddle. So that's why you want to be really quick and diligent with it. And you see when I'm doing this, I'm kind of scraping up all the excess sauce. Those look delicious. Let's bring them on over, nice and hot and toasty. Okay. Now, the last thing, the most simplest little accessory to the shishito peppers are going to be some sesame seeds. We're gonna add those right on top. And like I said, these are just a quick appetizer. If some girlfriends come over, you're like, what can I serve that maybe looks impressive, but I didn't take forever to make? These are it. Absolutely delicious. My mouth is salivating. Shall we try them? I got the perfect one I'm going to taste, and it is this guy right here. Oh my gosh, this is so good. That delicious flavor from that island seasoning, but the hoisin, the hint of the sesame oil, all of it is so, so good. Wow. My advice to you with this dish is to get salmon that's skinless and try to get the fillet piece, the medium piece. This just adds for easier steps for you. You don't have to take the skin off. It cooks better, and it's a little more even consistency for all that you're doing, making these cubes. So speaking of the size of the salmon, you'll notice I am cutting them into bite-size pieces. You don't want anything huge, just about that size there. And once I do this with about 3 of my salmon fillets, With this salmon, I am seasoning it with just our Blackstone Island stir fry. It is delicious, but you can certainly use a Cajun seasoning would go well, or even just a simple salt and pepper and garlic powder as well. Really, whatever you have in your pantry, because the winner of this is the bang bang. That is the key ingredient in this recipe. Now, when you put these on the griddle, you want to make sure you are putting them face side down first and making sure they're all the same size. The salmon's been down for a couple of minutes. We're gonna go ahead and flip those. Oh, look at the beautiful crispiness of that. That is what you are looking for. Let's talk about the hero of this recipe, and that is the bang bang sauce, y'all. And you know, I really thought it was gonna be way complicated than what it really is, but it's not. So all it is some mayonnaise. Depending on how much you are making, of course, you will figure out how much bang bang sauce you're gonna need. So I got about half a cup of mayonnaise sauce, and I'm gonna do about 1 tablespoon of sriracha, about 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and 1 teaspoon of your rice vinegar. And last but certainly not least, here is going to be your salt. Salt. About a half a teaspoon of that. And then you're gonna mix it up. Oh, I smell the salmon behind me cooking, and it smells amazing. So once this is all mixed up, we are going to put this on a pretty little platter, whether it is poolside with your friends, whether it's you and hubby on date night, or if it's just a meal prep for you for the week. This would go great over a salad, even some coleslaw. This is just one of those easy, high protein recipes that you will want to keep in your back pocket every week. Trust me on that. The salmon is smelling amazing, and we're just plating it on a nice white platter. You know, it's such a simple dish, but something about it just kind of seems fancy. And most importantly, it's delicious. This is just gonna be for me today, y'all, for lunch, but if you're making it for a plethora of people or just your family, feel free to cook way more salmon. So all that goes on this that's left is your sesame seeds. This is just a little extra additive color, prettiness, and texture, of course. Beautiful. And then we've got to add our sliced green onions. You've got to have the green onions on this. It is so important. Look at that. I'm salivating. I am salivating. Okay, just like that, 7 minutes, start to finish. I have an incredible appetizer or lunch or hey, dinner, whatever you want it to be. I'm gonna give it a whirl. I need a fork here. Dip. Man, you know, it's like the first time every time I make it because it's so good. I mean, really, 7 minutes, start to finish. You can't go wrong with this. Everybody will like this. Even if they don't like salmon, they're gonna like this. Between the homemade sauce, the crispiness of that salmon, this is a home run, trust me. You gotta keep it quick, you gotta keep it simple, and don't forget, you got to keep it delicious. My name's Taylor Mock, and I'll see you on the next episode. Cheers. There's many cuts you can do with this appetizer as far as the steaks go. I'm going to use picanha, or you could use a top sirloin. I'm gonna do a little bit of olive oil down. Basically, it's the same thing. Top sirloin is a part of the cut of picanha. Y'all are probably making fun of me the way I say it. I can hear you now. But any steak you want, this will work out. Just make sure you're getting something that's going to grill well. You don't want anything that's going to pull apart. So get these on here. Use whatever your little heart desires when it comes to seasonings, but for me, I just use a good old Montreal steak seasoning. And we're gonna do some butter. Kick up the flavor here. I used about 3 tablespoons of butter. I also have about 2 3-ounce steaks that I sliced here. So we're gonna let this butter cook down. Just kind of move it around a little bit. Get it in a little circle. While those are cooking down, let's talk about the base of the dish. It's gonna be your bread. Now you can use whatever you want. I'm using a baguette. You can use a French loaf if you wanted to, Cuban bread, whatever's on sale, honestly. I cut them a specific way to make it a little prettier. I do a little diagonal here, so I'm gonna cut the little butt off, that's what I call it. And then I'm going to slice it diagonally because this is what looks best on your platter. And depending on how many people you have, maybe you just have your friends coming over for cocktail hour. You can even make these smaller if you wanted to. But for purposes of today, this is going to be one of my heavy appetizers, where this is kind of dinner for me tonight. While I'm slicing this last piece here, let's talk about the flavor within this. You're basically just toasting this bread. You don't want it too hard, you don't want it too soft, somewhere right in the middle. So I'm gonna add some olive oil down. I'm going to take my spatula and just smooth it all around evenly. And then I'm going to actually take my SPG, which is basically our Blackstone salt, pepper, garlic. You can just put whatever seasoning you want down, just garlic powder would be fine. And I'm going to sprinkle it here on my griddle top. This is just a little trick so it really sticks well to the bread for good flavor. Once that's down, we're going to add our bread and let these toast on low while your steak is cooking. So all of these on here. I did about 8 slices. Actually, I did a little more than that for good measure. I think that looks delicious. Let's move over to the steak. I think they're about ready to flip here. So you really want caramelization within your steak. And make sure it's all bumped up to high while you're cooking. And I would say about another couple of minutes on these. And let these toast down. In a couple minutes, we'll flip them and we'll be back. How you want it cooked is your own way, whether it's medium, medium well. So once your steak, you flip it, you're getting that good consistency of the crispiness texture you want. We're going to check on our toast. Really just a couple minutes on each side. You just want it a little toasty. You don't want your bread to get too hard. And once that's done, we're gonna start building. The steak is done, so we're gonna take these off of the griddle so we can prepare them in a bowl for when we build. We're gonna pull these crostinis off. They're looking nice and crispy and delicious. We're gonna plate them. I'm gonna pick 5 here on this platter. Keep some extra ones just in case. Now, the basis of the crostini is going to be like a pepper house, mustard or mayonnaise, whatever you can find as long as it's pepper house, because it really adds a kick to this. On top of that, you're gonna add your watercress. You can also do arugula if you do not like watercress. And then that delicious steak that we cooked. Then we're gonna add the delicious blue cheese crumbles. And last but certainly not least, you have to have the balsamic vinegar glaze. It is absolutely delicious and necessary for this appetizer. And I gotta tell you, it is looking fabulous. Let's give it a bite. This looks so good. Gotta get a good grip on this. Oof, my mouth is watering. There we go. Oh yeah, amazing flavor. This is it, delicious. Just as I remember it from that gala I was telling you about, I stole the idea. I make these when my girlfriends are coming over for wine night. This is great during the holidays when you're having a bunch of family over. You want to make something quick, but you want it to be pretty. This is the dish. I'm tasting the great flavors of that steak. The blue cheese crumbles really make it. Wow, that was so fun. If you are looking for some more recipes, just head to Blackstone's YouTube. On their playlist, you can check out my show. Again, Easy Weeknight Meals with Taylor Mock. Thanks for the memories, and I hope you enjoyed.